8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. The Pakistani Prime Minister assures the Sri Lankan President that stern legal action will be taken into the incident of the flinching of a Sri Lankan national. A welfare program for the dependents of the Sri Lankan who died in Pakistan. Gas distribution will begin under 3 conditions. Measures will be taken to provide job opportunities in Japan, Korea and England in addition to the Middle Eastern countries. Sri Lanka confirms 541 new COVID cases and 20 deaths. And in foreign news, dozens of civilians killed after militants attack a bus in Mali. After the lynching of a Sri Lankan man in Pakistan's Sialkot over an alleged blasphemy, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has said he would personally oversee an investigation into the horrific vigilante attack, which he also called a day of shame for Pakistan. Khan has reached out to the Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today in the UAE. Pakistan's Prime Minister conveyed his nation's anger and shame over the horrific incident. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa today expressed shock at the brutal Sialkot lynching of a Sri Lankan national, but expressed confidence in Prime Minister Imran Khan's commitment to punish all those involved. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, whose government is a key regional ally to Pakistan, took to Twitter to condemn the horrific incident that saw a mob torture and kill Priyantha Kumara. Priyantha Kumara, working as a manager at a private factory in Sialkot, was tortured to death on Friday by a mob. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva has advised the Ministry of Foreign Jobs Promotion and the Bureau of Foreign Affairs to prepare a program for the future welfare of the dependents of the Sri Lankan who died in Pakistan, unfortunately. He conveyed his sympathy to the relatives of Priyantha Kumara. All citizens of the world reject extremism based on any religion or nation. The Sri Lankan government and the people will honour the Pakistan Prime Minister for taking immediate action into this incident. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said that the criminals involved in the incident of a Sri Lankan who was lynched brutally in Pakistan will be brought to book immediately. He said in his Twitter account that the Sri Lankan Foreign Minister, Professor G.L. Piris, also educated him regarding the incident. He said he was deeply regretful of this unfortunate incident. The Foreign Minister also emphasized that the authorities of Pakistan will take proper action to confirm the rights and justice into the incident. All parties are taking measures to bring back the remnant of the dead person. The remains of the dead person. The ministry also appreciated the statement made by Pakistani Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the Pakistani police have arrested prime suspects and booked over 800 people under the Anti-Terrorism Act a day after a mob tortured a Sri Lankan man employed as a manager in a factory in Sialkot to death and set his body on fire. The police said that the key suspect had been detained. This news comes to you from the Sri Lankan Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
We continue with local news. The Consumer Affairs Authority today gave the nod to release liquefied petroleum gas to the market under 3 conditions. In a statement, the authority chairman Shanta Dissanayake said the gas samples obtained yesterday under the supervision of the CAA, the committee appointed to inspect imported LP gas stocks, the Sri Lanka Accreditation Board and the Sri Lanka Standard Institution, were directed to the laboratory of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation. Accordingly, based on the CPC's test reports and the recommendations of the relevant technical committee, A decision was taken to commence distribution of domestic gas with effect from tomorrow. The vote on accounts of the Ministries of Labour, Transport and Highways and relevant state ministries were passed in Parliament today. The reply speech in this regard was made by Minister Johnson and Fernando. State Minister Priyankara Jayaratne said that foreign jobs will be given to around 300 persons next year. Measures will also be taken to provide job opportunities in Japan, Korea and England in addition to the Middle Eastern countries. He also stated that they expect to earn $10 billion through this program. More than 99,000 persons have been directed for foreign jobs this year, even amidst the corona pandemic. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future. Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions. Up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours. Exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards. Easy and 0% interest payment plans. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 21 more coronavirus-related deaths for December the 3rd, increasing the death toll in the country due to the virus to 14,440. According to the figures released by the Government Information Department, the deaths reported today include 17 males and 4 females. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry said 541 more persons have tested positive for COVID-19. This brings the total number of COVID cases confirmed in the country to 566,737. That was the main news story. Watchlight is next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watchlight is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
The government has paid attention to reopen the bricks and roof tiles industry in Yatiana, which belongs to the Sri Lanka Cement Corporation. The factory, which was started in 1946, is inactive. The main cause for this is the difficulty to find raw materials needed for this industry. That was a look at Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
Select technical and vocational courses with proper guidance. Visit regional career guidance centers or visit nearest district divisional secretariat offices and meet career guidance practitioners or skills development officers. Be aware on unregistered institute which promote widely. Don't waste your valuable time and money. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, world news. The headlines. Dozens of civilians killed after militants attack a bus in Mali. Gambians vote in first presidential election since Jammeh era. Zambia detects first cases of the Omicron COVID variant. At least 31 people have been killed in central Mali after militants attacked a bus carrying a civilian to a market, local officials have said. Unidentified gunmen opened fire and killed the driver before setting the bus on fire, according to authorities. Most of the victims were women who were on their way to work at the market, local sources told the EFE news agency. The deadly attack is the latest in Mali's rapidly escalating jihadist insurgency. Armed men shot at the vehicle, slashed the tires, and shot at the people. Gondo, mayor of the nearby town of Bankas, told Reuters news agency. He said more people were either missing or wounded. Gambians are casting their ballots to elect their next president in a highly anticipated vote seen as a test of the country's democratic transition. President Adama Barrow faces a record 5 other candidates as he seeks re-election in what is expected to be a close race. Political veteran Osaino Dabo is seen as the main opposition candidate. Today's vote is the first since long-time autocratic ruler Yahya Jammeh was forced into exile in January 2017 after Barrow, relatively unknown at the time, defeated him at the ballot box. His departure to Equatorial Guinea ended a 22-year rule marked by a litany of alleged crimes, abuses and financial plunder. Zambia has detected its first cases of the Omicron coronavirus variant in 3 people who tested positive for the COVID-19 in the past week, the health ministry said. The 3 cases are a man living in the district around the capital Lusaka who travelled abroad recently and is showing mild symptoms. A man in the Omibombo district who also travelled abroad recently but is asymptomatic, and a woman in the Lusaka district who has not travelled abroad recently and had mild symptoms. Outgoing Chancellor Angela Merkel has urged Germans to get vaccinated against COVID-19 to help turn the tide on a 4th wave of cases that she said has become dramatic in parts of the country. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Dozens of civilians killed after militants attack a bus in Mali. Gambians vote in first presidential election since Jammeh era. Zambia detects first cases of Omicron COVID variant. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is next.
Development news is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Development news. The Tanamalvila town will be developed. 20 million rupees has been allocated for this purpose. This program will be implemented under the national program to develop 100 towns. Under this program, the weekly fair and road network in the area will also be developed. That was development news. A look at sports news next.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news. The second stage of the LPL cricket tournament will begin tomorrow. 20 million rupees will be given to the team that wins the tournament along with the championship trophy, and 10 million rupees will be given to the runner-up team. Jaffna Kings, Gol Gladiators, Columbus Stars, Candy Warriors and Dambula Giants will participate in the tournament. The SLBC is acting as the official radio for the tournament. Vision FM and the National Sports Channel will give live broadcasts of the tournament. The initial rounds of the matches will be held at the R. Premadasa Stadium, and the semi-final and final matches will be held at the Mahinda Rajapaksha International Stadium. That was a look at sports news. Business news is next.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Colombo stock market has approved the registration for the Myland Development Company that is engaged in the property sales field. The initial public sales of the company will be issued on the 8th of this month. More than 6.2 million voting shares are to be issued. That was Business News. Economic News follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 co-sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic News, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Governor of the Central Bank, Ajit Niwad Cabral, says that several measures will be taken to strengthen the migrant workers in the country. Accordingly, facilities will be provided for them to visit their relevant countries. Facilities will be made for them to send their finances to official banks. The contribution of all banks will be obtained. He also requested the migrant workers to send their finances to official banking services. He made these remarks at a media briefing held at the headquarters of the Central Bank. That was Economic News. Finally, a look at the weather report.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
This is the weather report. The Met Department says that showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, Uva, northwestern, north central and southern provinces during the evening or at night. Fairly heavy rainfall above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, central, Uva and southern provinces. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, Uva and north central provinces during the morning. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The Pakistani Prime Minister assures the Sri Lankan President that stern legal action will be taken into the incident of the lynching of a Sri Lankan national. A welfare program for the dependents of the Sri Lankan who died in Pakistan. Gas distribution will begin under 3 conditions. Measures will be taken to provide job opportunities in Japan, Korea and England in addition to the Middle Eastern countries. Sri Lanka confirms 541 new COVID cases and 20 deaths. And in foreign news, dozens of civilians killed after militants attack a bus in Mali. That ends tonight's news broadcast.